Okay. Hey guys, can you hear us? We're doing something a little different today. We've got a little bit of a different setup. So we just want to make sure it looks like everything's live. I can hear the audio going out. Let's just see if we've got my lovely wife Claire here today.
Testing, testing. Hello, hello. Happy Sunday.
Well, I don't hear anybody saying they can't hear us, so I think we should be good here, guys. As usual, if you're joining us here today, tell us in the comments where you are watching from or listening from, and we like to hear from all the different countries. And while we're waiting for people to show up, we like to put a few of those up on the screen, and so we're going to do that here real quick. Let's get. Let me see if I can get Claire back in here. There she is. Okay, you ready here? Let's see.
It's always a little nerve-wracking when you've changed the setup. I must say,
it really is.
It's like, oh boy, hello world, are you out there?
You know what? I just had an idea. We could even do this.
Bear's mom, hi from Indiana. Hi, Bear's mom. Thanks for joining us. Trying
to think of.
What are we doing here? You want me to work on the comments while you do that? So we're multitasking here in tandem. All right, here we go. Okay, Paul Schwach, the Mopar guy. Hello from sunny California, home of Celebrity Center, where we got married. Yes, indeed. Oh, look.
There you go.
Anita, hi from the Netherlands. I was like, wow, I think I'm seeing myself in double right at the moment.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Mary Kay London, hi from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Awesome. Thanks for joining us today. Janine, hi from the Netherlands. Yay, Netherlands represent. Matt Denny, hi from Norfolk, England. Thanks for being here, Matt. S, hi guys, love from the UK. Yay, I always appreciate love from the UK. My home.
Okay, country. I got it now. There you go.
Katrina, good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday fun day from Reading, UK. Yay. Cher, hello from the Netherlands. Boom.
Netherlands, man.
Yes. JDR, hello from Florida. Nice. Manon, hi all. Good evening from, you guessed it, the Netherlands. Nice.
What's going on over there?
I love it. It's okay. Shonen and Ra, hello from a North Carolinian in Connecticut. I was an almost in. Thanks for these. Finally caught alive. Amazing. Well, thank you for being here. And thanks for being an almost in. Thank goodness you were not an in and now an outie, you know?
Yeah.
That there's always a silver lining. KDD, hello from Ireland.
I just realized if I have us both on here, I can't cut away from myself when I'm drinking.
Yeah, well, you can adjust having your coffee. Yep, but you can put it back to me in those rare instances where you need to get some extra caffeine.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Becky, Big Brother fan. Good evening from Reading, UK. Awesome. Swathika Chandra. Greetings from Colorado. Boom. Greetings back from Colorado.
Yes.
Good evening from Sweden. Nice. Thanks for being here. Howdy from Wyoming. Awesome. Mark T, Oakland, California. M, hello from Washington. Luna 3120, hello from New Hampshire. Joseph Brian Stanley, greetings from Speedway, Indiana. Doodle Dom, hello from Cologne, Germany. Catherine Olson, let's see if Mark can
Willamette Valley.
Willamette Valley.
Willamette Valley.
Willamette.
Saskatchewan.
Heather, hello from Louisiana. Never a dull moment over here at Blown for Good Scientology Exposed. Patty, hello, fellow SPs from New London, Connecticut. Hi, Patty. Good to see you here.
Nice. Okay, good. I think that's good. We did it. We got through it.
Yes. For anyone we missed, hello anyway. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, we have a good show today. We're going to go through how long Sea Org members work each day and what they do. Yeah. What they could be doing.
Yeah.
And then what that equates. And this is just for you and I.
Yes.
So if you were a Sea Org member at a different location than the international headquarters, you could have had a totally different schedule and did things at different times on different days, but the hours were about the same.
Yep.
Maybe not as long as the Imp base. The Imp base, of all the Sea Org bases I've been to, they go a little crazier than a lot of the other ones. A lot of the other ones have to do that when David Miscavige is at their Sea Org base. But then when he leaves, it goes back to the way it used to be for the most part.
Yep, that's fair.
Okay, so let's get right into it. So this is our Sea Org years. Now, we both worked at the international headquarters, but we were also at another place before we got there.
Yes.
So I joined the Sea Org in Los Angeles, and I worked at the Hollywood Guarantee Building, 6331 Hollywood Boulevard.
And how old were you when you joined the Sea Org?
I was 15 when I joined the Sea Org, and I turned 16 when I was working at Able.
Mm-hmm.
And then right before I went to the Imp base, I turned 17.
Okay.
And then, no, did I turn 16? In 89.
Yep.
I would have turned 16 in 89.
Yes. And you got to the base, the headquarters in 1990. In Gilman Hot Springs.
In like the end of May, 1990.
Right.
Okay. Yes. And then I worked there from May 1990.
Yep.
Does that seem right? Yeah, it does. Because the flood happened right after
in August 1990.
Yeah. Okay. So then, and I left in January of 2005.
Correct.
So that's the time period for me. Now, when did you work?
I joined. Well, for me, factor in, I was in the Sea Organization's cadet organization from age 4 to 10.
Yeah.
But then when I started my own billion-year contract, I was 16, and that was in July of 1991.
Okay.
And by September of 1991 is when I had been moved to the headquarters in Gilman Hot Springs, California. So July 1991 to September 1991, and then September 1991 until January 24th, 2005. I worked at the headquarters with a year in 96 to 97, where I was in Clearwater, Florida.
Yeah. But for most of that time period,
Yep.
your schedule was relatively similar.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, and we should say this. Pretty much the entire time we were at the Imp base and we were married, we were on different schedules. So our meal times were off by 1 hour. So I would eat at lunch, but not the same lunchtime you would go to. You would go an hour after I went.
Right.
And dinner and breakfast and going home and coming in the morning. Everything was shifted an hour.
Yes. So even though we were married, by the time we escaped, we had been married for 13 going on 14 years.
That's true.
And we could probably say that we ate together maybe 40 times in those years.
Yeah, maybe.
Because
even when we were on the same schedule, you were part of the qual division. So sometimes if there was a session or there was something that went into a meal,
yes,
then you would just go after the meal. You would just,
or I wouldn't go at all.
Or you wouldn't go at all. And sometimes I was doing the similar thing, or I was on the night shift. So
or you were off the property, or you were in Denmark, or you were at an event, or you were elsewhere. But we I think originally when we first got married in August 1992, we ate together, a few times at the beginning.
Yeah, maybe a few times a week.
Yeah.
When our schedules were sort of the same and there was nothing crazy happening.
Right.
Then we would eat
which was very rare, by the way.
So we maybe eat 2 or 3 times a week at that time.
Yeah. So maybe it was more than 40, but nonetheless, the point being in 13 and a half years, we were 100%, it's fair to say we were ships passing in the night in terms of schedule. Yes. That is absolutely on point.
Okay. So that's the years we worked there. Now this is the math of how that works. Okay.
Yeah.
We want to go through it. So this is for me from May 1989 to January 4th, 2005.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, good. So you get up at 7:45. And like I said, different Sea Org bases have different schedules, but this was the schedule for me at the Imp base. For most of the schedules always change too. They tweak things, and exercise time comes in and then exercise time goes out. Then this comes
study
in.
Study time goes in, study time goes out. It's important to mention too, that though we have study time listed here, by this by the policy written by L. Ron Hubbard called The Student's Guide to Acceptable Behavior. For a student to attend study, they have to have had adequate sleep, adequate food, not drunk any alcohol, not a problem there for Sea Org members,
Yeah.
nor taken any drugs, again, not a problem there for Sea Org members. And so if you're not studentable, then you just keep working, or sometimes as punishment, they would put you on doing like, filing or,
Yeah.
some kind of
That's
menial
true.
task.
I didn't realize that it used to be, if you weren't studentable, you would just go to the course room and say, hey, I didn't sleep enough, I can't study tonight.
Mhm.
And they'd be like, okay, fine. You're not leaving. You're going to do work for us here.
That's right.
And as a punishment, so that you don't just get out of having to go to study, you still have to show up.
Right.
Because some people would need to get work done. They'd be like, oh, I'm just going to tell them I didn't sleep, or just make something up.
Yep.
And some people would just not go.
Yes.
But if you didn't go, God, this is going to take forever. The other thing,
ethics officers were supposed to go around at study time and kick everybody out of their offices and make them go to study time. So it was like, anyway,
these things would come on and off. Like sometimes they'd be kicking your butt to go to study.
This is going to be a very deep conversation on the ultimate bureaucracy of life in this organization.
Anyway, let's just go through the schedule. We'll highlight things as we go.
Yeah.
But I just want to say this. After every meal, at least after every meal, there is what's called a muster.
Yes.
And a muster is supposed to take like 5 minutes, but sometimes it can take 5 hours.
Yeah.
They're just counting everybody to make sure we didn't lose anybody between this meal and the last meal.
Yes.
And they want to just count their chickens. At least 3 times a day, Sea Org members are counting their chickens.
Yeah. And so what does that look like? You have all the staff. So when I first got to the property, there were about, 500 plus staff in Golden Era Productions.
Oh, no. It was more like 300. The base had 500 people, but Gold at some of its biggest was in the 300s.
Okay. So you have 300 staff.
Golden Era Productions.
minus out security who can't leave their posts.
Yeah.
Minus out people on the night shift or, anyone who's just not available. But so let's say it's 250 people all line up outside Massacre Canyon Inn, which is the dining hall at the property. You line up by division. So there's 7 divisions, sometimes, there's multiple production divisions. So let's say there's 10 divisions. All the executives line up front. The division head of each division stands up front with everyone lined up behind them in pristine lines. And then they do a roll call and the ethics officer calls it off. Division 1, present and accounted for. And then they would have to say, Billy Bob is unaccounted for. Or, anyone who they didn't know where their whereabouts, they would have to say those names. And the ethics officer would take notes of that. And then immediately right after the muster, go track those people down. Right.
Yeah. And then sometimes when they would read somebody out, you'd be like, oh, that guy's long gone. Like if somebody who had been in trouble for weeks and weeks and weeks. Right. And then they're like, hey, Alex Billy Bob is unaccounted for. You're like, oh, Alex Billy Bob done got a head start on you guys.
And I would like to mention always there was the most incidents of that type of conversation on Sunday at lunchtime.
Yes.
After we'd had 2 hours of CSP.
Yeah,
that's what it was called.
Clean ship program. It's basically where you do your laundry and you clean your.
We weren't on a ship, nor was it a program. You just have to do your laundry and clean your room.
Nor was everything
getting. Your room is then that afternoon going to get a white glove inspection.
Well, yeah. Okay. We haven't even gotten past breakfast.
I know.
Okay. You got to let me read the schedule.
Okay, go right ahead, honey. You go ahead.
Okay.
There's just a lot of context.
We haven't even gotten to breakfast yet. We haven't even gotten on the bus.
Okay, I'm providing color commentary.
Okay. I'm trying to do play-by-play.
To reenact a day in the life of a Sea Org member. That's my attempt here.
Okay, good. Here we go. 7:45 to 8. So at this time, again, this is for us. Mm-hmm. We lived 15 minutes from the property in Hemet, California, in an apartment building called Kirby Gardens on Kirby Street in Hemet. Okay. So we would leave there at 7:45 and get on a bus, and the bus would take us to the property. And then at 8 o'clock to 8:30 was breakfast. Now, some years breakfast was only 15 minutes, and muster.
Some years all meals were 15 minutes.
Yeah, and then muster would be at 8:15, or it just they changed over the years, but pretty much every year we started at the same time and we ended at the same time, no matter what happened in the middle.
Yep.
So 8:30 to 12, that's production. So if you work making widgets, or you're cleaning toilets, or making movies, or supervising people doing courses, your production time is when you do that.
Yep.
Then
and
you
at the start of each day, you have to prepare a battle plan, which is that's Scientology's for a
if we're going to do the whole day, we're never going to get through this one slide.
It's relevant. So you have everything on your battle plan as to what you're going to do that day to get your statistics up.
Yeah. And here's the crazy thing. Okay. When you get in the after breakfast, you got to make sure you have a BP. That's a battle plan. And then you got to make sure that you're marking your graph every single hour. So if you make cassettes where I work, or you're doing VHS tapes or whatever, you got to count those every hour. And you got to mark it on a graph at your desk. And
that is referred to as a 7R graph,
which is from L. Ron Hubbard's executive series 7R.
Yes.
Anyway, and it's talking about the ultimate micromanagement.
Oh my God, dude.
Anyway.
And that's not even the only graph, by the way. You have a weekly graph as well.
And a monthly graph, don't you? No, weekly.
As our kids would
daily
say.
And weekly.
As our kids would say, bruh.
Bruh. Okay. Anyway, so then are we still live? Are people even watching this? Okay.
Hello.
So if you don't have when you first start for the day, you got to make sure you have all that stuff.
Yes.
Okay. And then you work from breakfast until lunch. You have lunch again. It's a half hour. Sometimes it was 15 minutes. It would shift 15 or forward, whatever.
And by the way, let me just interject one thing.
Yes,
so
please.
The compound is 500 acres. Okay.
Oh, yes.
So this is relevant because if you work on like a mile away from the dining hall, you will not be caught dead departing for lunch even a minute early.
Yeah. You're not. Lunch is from 12 to 12:30.
Yeah.
That includes your travel time. If your building is 15 minutes, and people would do this all the time. If your building is 15 minutes from where the mess hall is, then you're going to eat up 15 minutes of that half hour just getting there.
Yep.
And if the meal breaks 15 minutes, this is a problem.
Yes.
So what people would
do.
do.
Logistical nightmare.
What people would do. People did this all over the property.
Ugh.
They'd be like, hey, I got to go bring this over to the services division, which is in the back of the galley.
Right.
You'd have to bring something to some building near the mess hall right before a meal. And if you could swing that, you'd be like, hey, I'm going to run this over to Billy Bob over in Cine. And Cine was right next to the mess hall. And then the cinematography division where I worked for many years. And then you could bring that over to them. And then you could just be like, hey, here's a piece of paper. I wanted to bring you.
Ta-da, how convenient.
Look at that. It's
I'm going to head on over.
11:59 and 59 seconds. What amazing timing I have. Okay. So you go eat lunch. Then there's another muster. Then from lunch to 5, you work. Okay. And also, when you're in the Sea Org and you're working, if you ain't getting to doing something, you're going to get smoked out pretty quick. So like if you're one of these people who likes to kind of mill about and do busy work, that's not a thing in the Sea Org. There's no such thing as busy work. You're either working or cleaning. That's it. Yep. And if you ain't got work to do
or studying,
you got cleaning to do. Yeah. Okay. So then from 5 to 5:30 is dinner. From then this is, like I said, that different Sea Org bases, they study in the morning, or they study in the afternoon, or they study in they study all day, 2 days of the week, or they have it all different. But at this property, from 5:30 to there's a muster again at 5:30, and then from 5:30 to 6:30, you just go back to work, or you do your meetings, your end of the day meetings or whatever, and then you go and you have cleaning stations every day. Sea Org members have to clean where they work. There's no cleaners in most Sea Org places, there's no cleaners that are assigned to the property unless it's like a premier property or something that has to be cleaned. It's too much space for just the people that work there to clean. Like at the Golden Air Productions, we had a studio and we had a studio cleaner and she had an assistant.
Yeah.
Just because the studio had giant spaces.
Yeah. And same for the dining hall. There were 1 or 2 people who would clean that whole space.
Yeah. And don't think they called them cleaners. In the Sea Org, they were doing crazy stuff way back. Okay. For a long time, especially Golden Air Productions, at least in the 90s.
Yep.
It was a sanitation engineer. Okay. Right. If you're taking out garbage, you're an engineer.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You're like,
and then there's the deputy.
You're doing stuff with
engineer.
Plastic, composites, recycling. There's some science in this thing.
Yes. And some engineering.
Okay. Then from 7 to 10:30, again, different places had different schedules. People go crazy when I would say we did this.
7 to 9:30. That's it. Because it's 2.5 hours.
Oh, sorry. So 7. Yeah. And it usually was a little, they try to get you a little out of there before 10.
Yeah.
Because people are just going to start falling asleep anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
But
so yeah,
it's
7 to 9:30.
policy that any Scientologists, but also obviously Sea Org members are supposed to get 12.5 hours of study per week, which is 5 slots of 2.5 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you would have exercise time and then travel to birthing, or, depending on what was going on, that there could be, that schedule could be, you would leave at 10:45 and get home at 11, or maybe you'd leave at 11:45 and get home at 12, or there was a 1:45 bus, a 2:45 bus.
Yeah. And just to reiterate, this is a very conservative estimation.
Yes.
Because it's fair to say exercise was the first thing to go. So like in my case, I did exercise time the first year we were there.
Yeah.
So maybe, that first year, but after that, I didn't do exercise time.
Exercise time was one of those love-hate, because people would be like, oh, we get exercise time. And then if you went to exercise time and then David Miscavige showed up in your area and he's like, hey, where's Mark? And then somebody says, he might be at exercise, sir. And he'd be like,
wrong answer.
That skinny motherfucker is at exercise. What's up with that? He don't need no exercise. Or he would do the exact opposite. He would show up to exercise time and he'd be like, where is everybody? Aren't you guys supposed to get your pay docked if you don't go to exercise? And then people are starting to then get their pay docked because they didn't go to exercise. And then he goes to your area and like, where was Bill? He's like, oh, he's at exercise. Like, goddamn worker oriented MFers. And you're just like, oh.
And Kenny Siebold was the exercise. What was his title?
He was the sports fields in charge.
Yeah,
that
but
was
he
his
was
actual
responsible
post.
For exercise time.
But he was actually he was in grounds.
Yes.
He was in the grounds department.
Yep.
And he mowed the lawns that were on the exercise fields. And he just happened to also be the exercise instructor. And also because Dave's exercise building was down where exercise time was supposed to be held.
Yes.
And he had his own gym and bikes and treadmills and all this fancy dancy equipment. Anyway, okay. Now you go home for the night, and then you're supposed to sleep at least 7 hours. That's kind of like the unspoken rule. To be able to be sessionable or studentable, you have to sleep at least 7 hours.
Yeah, which means you get home, you get ready for bed,
should shower and shave, hit
down,
the sack.
You go to sleep, and you wake up in the morning. Like the amount of times that we actually had capacity. I mean, I don't know about you. I couldn't fall asleep. I would read a book because I was off purpose.
I don't know, but that was the basic schedule for the basic day, which is, let's say we're underestimating it
dramatically. Like there are, you'll see when we get to the next slide why we're prefacing this with,
well, yeah, because there was the amount of times you went home on the 2:45 bus instead of the 10:45
or when you
bus,
were doing, you were under a justice action. So you had to be making amends and burning the midnight oil, as they would say. And
burning the midnight oil. We burned all the burned all the oil.
All
midnight or
we have
otherwise.
None left. We are dead out of midnight oil.
Okay. So that's that's like a Monday through Saturday schedule.
Yes.
On Saturday, we did renovations, but we took up the whole day. That's what I'm trying to say. Even if we did something different, we weren't doing it less.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sunday, you got to do what's called clean ship program, which is you got to wash your laundry and clean your room. Okay. And that went from 9 to 11:45.
Yep.
And that is basically, in terms of free time, that's your free time for the week.
It's a stretch to call it free time.
I understand, but it was time.
Then,
it was time.
The ethics officers would come around to inspect,
that's true,
to make sure you hadn't overslept and that you were actually cleaning your rooms.
That's
because,
right.
Of course,
I was going to say there was a time where you just
free by definition.
You just sleep in till 11:45, get up and go, and just be like, "Yeah, I did my laundry on Thursday night, in the middle of the night. I'm good to go."
Yeah.
Okay. So, but then they started doing musters at where you lived.
Yes, that's
and
right.
So everybody would have to go out and they'd round everybody up.
That was a rough looking muster, man.
Oh my God. People would come in their underwear.
Yeah.
Basically just get, like, who cares?
Like they just came out of bed.
Just have
fresh out of bed
and a t-shirt, no shoes, no socks, the fucking rack. Okay.
Yep.
That's clean set program. Then right after that, it basically flips over to the exact same schedule. We are saying though that 9 to 11:45, that's your time. We're not gonna include that in the hours.
Right.
We're giving you those hours.
Yes, even though it's not free time. Just again, we've done a very conservative estimate for the sake of, painting a very clear picture of the best case scenario.
Yeah.
Which it rarely was.
Yeah. Now I'm not a mathematician, so there could be some errors in this math, but
for the most part, ballpark.
Yeah, we're ballparking it, and we're erring on the side of low.
Yes.
Okay. Because we know it's more than this.
Yes.
We know we were there.
Definitely.
We lived it.
Yep.
Okay. So you're working 109 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
That's the least amount of a week.
Mm-hmm.
There's no week in any Sea Org that's going to be a vast number lower than that.
Right.
They're all at least working about this.
Yeah.
Just depending on how much more they work could vary from base to base.
And by the way, as a comment, this also is great context to mention that elder Sea Org members are sometimes put on a shortened schedule,
which is around 80 hours.
So, for example, yes, exactly. There was a staff member we were working to help escape from Los Angeles not that long ago. He had been diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, and he was put on a reduced schedule of 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where these numbers.
Yeah. Guys, seriously.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's hardcore.
Yeah.
Okay. So 109 hours a week. That's 5,668 hours a year. Okay. 5,668. Now, in work weeks, that's 2,218 work weeks.
Right. So if you factor in most people in the real world have a job and they work 40 hours a week, and maybe they get, between Christmas and July 4th and vacation, maybe they get 2-3 weeks off.
Yeah.
So again, we haven't factored that in. We're just saying 52 weeks in a year of a 40-hour work week. That's what it translates to is.
It's 42 years.
Yeah. 42 years.
In the regular world at a 40-hour a week job. And I know some people don't work a 40-hour week. Some people work a 50 or a 60 or an 80. I understand that. But if you were just doing a 9-to-5 job, that's 42 years of that. So
which you did in
15
years. Yeah, exactly.
I squeezed 42 years into 15 years.
It helps for context to understand why we have stories for years.
Oh yeah. Right? And so how many hours is that? That's 88,726 hours.
Right.
So when you say, well, how long did you do that for? Well, I only did it for 3 years.
Yeah.
But I was clocking in 5,600 hours a year on that
Right.
3 years. So even though I did that for 3 years, I did it for 15,000 or plus hours.
Right.
Just right, because that's how long I was working on it.
Right.
So some of the things that I worked on, at least 10,000 hours on, is audiovisual manufacturing of cassettes, VHS, Laserdisc, CD, and DVDs, audiovisual quality control, AV systems manufacturing, first assistant director, video production, video and film pre-production, film production, video production, AV systems design and integration. Those were all the things that I worked on during that time. Now, I worked on a ton of other things too. We did construction. I did electrical, plumbing, drywall, stone veneer, concrete.
Yep.
I did so many things, but I didn't do them 10,000 hours.
Right.
I only did those about, 4,000 or 5,000 hours. So I didn't even include those on the list.
Right.
Those are just hobbies.
Because what is it? They say it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert
Sure.
at something or something like that.
Okay. So that's me. That's a lot. Now that I'm looking at it like this, that's a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
The only thing you can't get back, you can make as much money that you want to get. You can't get the time back.
Nope.
Okay. Here's Claire.
All right. So Golden Era Productions, I was in the staff training department from 1991 until 1996. And I had the same schedule. However, as we've mentioned, because I was in the staff training department and my position was supervisor, which is closest real world equivalent is teacher. But Hubbard policy dictated that you had to have one supervisor teacher to 20 students. And that ratio had to be in place no matter what, or heads would roll. So there were many times when I just had to work through meals because I either had nobody to replace me and there were students still studying or whatever.
Yeah.
So there you go. But yeah, during these years was the closest amount of time where I would sometimes be on a similar schedule to you.
Yeah.
Even though we worked on opposite sides of the property and therefore we rarely saw each other. So
yeah.
But again, basically the same schedule, 16.25 hours a day.
Same things, musters, production, study time, all the same stuff.
Exactly. Okay. Then from March 1996 until January 24th, or actually no, 96 until it was September, October 2004.
Yeah, this says to 2004 because you got kicked out of RTC.
And I got put in the hole. Yeah.
But your schedule was pretty much exactly the same. Right. That didn't change.
Yep. Anything. So again, the management organizations and Religious Technology Center were on a 1 hour later schedule. That way the dining hall had 2 shifts for breakfast, 2 shifts for lunch, 2 shifts for dinner, and so forth. So basically, my allocated study time was in the morning from 9:30 to 12. And then again, the rest of it is basically the same.
Yeah. Okay. So there's those hours.
Yep. So again, 109 hours per week, very, very conservatively, 79,352 hours, which for me was the equivalent of 38.15 years. If you're measuring those hours worked against a 40-hour work week in the real world.
Yeah. That's so crazy.
Yeah. Areas I worked: staff training, staff auditing or counseling. For 1 year, I was training to be an RTC representative in Clearwater, Florida. Then staff correction, where I was involved with overseeing and correcting management executives. And then from 2000 to 2004, RTC internal, which was staffing, human resources, finances, training, etc. And I added gold manufacturing all hands on there because do you remember that while I was in Religious Technology Center, I was the fastest CD stuffer on the entire property.
Yeah. which was kind of funny because I was a manufacturing guru and she was a manufacturing guru.
Yeah.
We also, there was a time period at Golden Era Productions where this giant castle called the Cine Castle, the cinematography division's shoot studio, was housed by a castle.
Yes.
And they cleared out all of the sets in the studio, every single last piece of set or equipment or film crew, lighting, anything, and they turned it into the manufacturing division of Golden Era Productions. So we had shrink wrappers in there, we had forklifts, we had all of the equipment that you would find in a manufacturing facility inside of a film studio, and the entire property. It didn't matter where you worked. You had a job in manufacturing. You were either a shrink wrapper or you stuffed CDs into these special binders, or everybody did.
Yeah.
And even though I was the head of the manufacturing division, I was a much better shrink wrapper than any other shrink wrapper. So during an all hands where everybody on the property came to do stuff, I would run the shrink wrap machines because that was the fastest. I was the fastest, and I could also fix them if they broke, and they always broke. So,
as is likely to happen when you operate something close to 24 hours a day.
So Claire did 79,000.
Yeah. Oh, and then I included attending meetings with David Miscavige because, gosh, I should figure out one day what the actual figure of hours of meetings attended, but it was depressing how much it was. So
here's a great question. I'm going to do it right now just because it's
Code Monkey. Oh, Code Monkey. Question, not to get personal, but why do people in the Sea Org get married if you never see your partner? How can you have any sort of relationship? Yeah, that is a really good question.
And I will give you the very down and dirty answer.
Yeah.
One, in the Sea Org, you can't be messing around if you're not married. So that's one good reason.
And the threat of going to the rehabilitation project should your hand slip and touch, an intimate location, then that's not going to be good.
Yeah.
It's
the other
very
reason,
tragic outcome,
is I don't know how it is at other Sea Org bases. In Los Angeles, you could be in a dorm with 20 other dudes. At the Imp base, it was usually only about 4 or 5 other people in one berthing. Sometimes it got a little crazy, but usually, for the most part, it was 4 or 5 people in your dorm that you would have to share a bathroom and then maybe some sleeping things with or whatever. But if you were married, just one person. See how that works?
You just gave me a flashback of the time when Marion Powell was trying to force me to divorce you.
Yeah.
And I sent you that letter with the rings, and which, by the way, we have that letter. It's so embarrassing, mortally embarrassing.
I'm going to read it to everybody one day.
Yeah, we'll do a deep
She's
dive.
Like, sent me her rings.
Part 2. And I didn't say, I wasn't asking for a divorce. It was how I got Marion off my back. But I will never forget that you were like, what
Laughable.
the heck? Why are you giving me what is with this letter? Could we not have had a conversation first?
Yeah.
And then you were like, you cannot do this to me. Literally, all I'm going to be seeing is hairy butts for the rest of my life.
That's right. I was like, I ain't moving out. You can divorce me, but we're staying in the same bed still in the same room. Okay. This
is sad but true, folks.
Okay. A lot. Is that it? Is that the end? Thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Yes. Before I forget, it's my friend Chris's birthday. I told him I was going to do this.
Yay.
Happy birthday, Chris. Okay.
Chris is our very dear mutual friend. He's actually the friend I've had since I was 5 years old.
And he also used to work at the base in the cinematography division with me.
He and I were in the cadet.
For all you spies out there trying to keep track of this.
Yep.
Should we do the giveaway? I have something really cool I want to talk about after the giveaway.
Okay.
Also, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Remember, we got other stuff we got to do.
Yeah.
We got 20 minutes.
Go ahead.
Davey dolls. That's our new thing. Davey dolls.
We're coming up on Christmas.
We got to get rid of these Davey dolls. I have so many of these.
Should we do a Dave on the Shelf competition?
We should actually.
Yeah.
We should. If you have one of these, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
What should we give away if Mike and Leah signed bobblehead?
Yeah.
The one that has the signed headshots.
Yes.
With both of them signing it,
yes.
And then one of each bobblehead.
Yeah.
If you take a picture that's really good, let's try not to do AI. I kind of feel bad. I think maybe we should do one AI and one real world.
Okay, so 2 categories you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't, you can't really compare them together.
Yeah, but if somebody photoshops or does something funny and it's really, really good, then we should recognize it.
Yeah.
Because some people are not going to take, they're not going to take this
and
and go to the
we should
pyramids.
include the elements of creativity, not only the picture, but
Yeah.
the title, like Dave in a cave, you know,
Well, yeah.
Dave on a wave.
Dave in the cave.
Dave trying his hand at a stave. Whatever.
Dave in a cave. Anyway, okay. Holy moly. Okay, but from now on, all the giveaways we're going to do on the channel, until we don't have any more of these little guys, if you win this.
Yeah.
Because we got to get rid of these. We got a lot of these. I'm going to say
there's a lot of Davey elves in the world, but there's also a lot. There's, probably about a third left. So we would like to.
We got to get rid of them.
Yeah.
These are great for dog treats and cat treats.
Contrary to what Scientology says outside St. Hill in the United Kingdom, they do not cause alarm and distress.
That's true. They literally, and there's a weird thing happening on YouTube. I can never add these anymore to the store for some reason.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It's because they're self-fulfilled. Okay. I don't know why. I have to contact Fourth Wall and see if I can troubleshoot that, because I noticed the same, like we can't add the foundation cards.
No, that doesn't make sense, because the books, I can add my books, and my books are the same.
Okay. Nah.
Take another stab at it. You can pour catnip all over these things.
Makes for some amazing videos.
You put it in a ball jar.
Yep.
And seal it with catnip, and your cat will love this toy for the rest of time.
Yes.
We have how many? We have 3 cats.
We do.
We have 3 cats and 2 dogs. It's like a circus up in this.
Yeah. There's a same amount of animals as there are humans, which personally I think is a nice balance.
Anyway, they love these things. Dogs and cats alike, they love them. They rip these things, and they're pretty strong. They do have a little Velcro thing on here, so you can hang it from stuff.
But other than that.
Anyway, get in there and get some of them. They're on the SP shop. I'll put a link in the description, but they're on the spshop.com. And every one of these that we sell, the proceeds go to the Aftermath Foundation.
Correct.
To support the Aftermath Foundation, and buy yourself a Captain Space, Navy, Davey, Fakey, Wavy, whatever they call them on the SP shop. Get yourself one of these. We're going to do a drawing. It says 0 entries.
It may need to be refreshed, or maybe we said it wrong, so you have to do a hashtag and we didn't tell folks.
No.
Okay.
Here, let me take it off.
While Mark figures that out, let me take a moment to remind everybody that at the end of this stream, we will be feeding into the Michael J. Rinder Aftermath Foundation feed series that myself and Phil Jones have started doing every week, every Sunday at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Today, we will be doing part 2 of an interview with John Christensen. So this stream will redirect to that. But if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel over there, we would greatly appreciate your support. It's a very, very easy way to support the work that we do at the Michael J. Rinder Aftermath Foundation.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay, so I did figure it out, I think, somewhat, but it's only got 27 drawings, so I know that it's got more than that. So if you want to, we'll do it at the end. We'll do it at the very end.
Yeah, perfect.
So if you want to enter in to
win, any comment is automatically entered, or should be. It probably wasn't hooked up or something at the start. So
okay.
Yeah.
So
all good.
This is the next thing I want to talk about. And I did link to this in the description. There is a website that is going to now be the repository for, it looks like, Scientology documents. Somebody sent me this link. They don't want anybody to know who they are, so they just anonymously sent me this. And this is the Scientology database. And it has OSA network orders. It literally has the entirety of the policies that the Office of Special Affairs operates off of. And you can read them on the site. Also, they do have it they have this version.
Oh, I like that one. I didn't
And
see that.
if you go to the top and say light, it'll turn it back to this version.
Nice.
So if
And
you like the
this
Matrix
is currently
look.
the two databases that are populated on this is the OSA network orders and a glossary.
Yeah. So the documents have a lot of verbiage in them. And so in order to understand these documents, there is a dictionary of all of the terminology that they use in the Sea Org and in OSA, which is very important.
Yep.
The website is called scnfiles.com.
Yep. Sierra Charlie North, SCN Files. There you go.
Yeah, listen to Miss Aviation over here. Okay. So go check it out if you want to look through these things.
There's no question.
Here, I'll show you. Look, actually, I have these. There we go.
All right.
So these are the Office of Special Affairs OSA network orders, and it has the entirety of them are in here.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know whose site this is, and I don't know how long this is going to be up. But if you want to look at any of this stuff, you can download it. And I went there and there was this PDF and I downloaded, and it has the purpose. It has the reputation of Scientology and L. Ron Hubbard. I mean, we're talking this slide, this document, this PDF of this thing. It's a lot. It's all
pages
of
and
them.
pages and
yeah.
pages.
So if you guys want to go check that out, it's pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is that there are people leaving Scientology, and there's not really a place to put these things. So this might actually come in handy. I don't know if there's a way you can send them files. Anyway, I don't know how they'd verify that. I don't know how that would work. But either way, there's 2,847 documents on the website right now. Let's see. Maybe we'll check back in on this site in a few months and see how much stuff they've added.
But it's an awesome repository, like you said, because even though there's so much information out there, you kind of have to go to multiple different locations, and it can be very, very difficult to know, like, what's the there's so many also versions of books and everything else. So between the glossary and the documents, let's see, Code Monkey. OSA is going to have a fun time trying to figure out who is running this site. Yes, completely.
That would be a fun thing. I just saw, it looks like we got a, how do you put that up? How do I put up this?
Crystal, is it like that at every org? At some point, the tasks must become repetitive and redundant. Is there some poor soul out there vacuuming the same carpet 12 times every day? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there is. This is the one.
But also they, on the cleaning stations, like you have to get inspections and with the white gloves. So they'll come along and be like, funk. You got dirt.
Well, they're not. The shelves down right by where you're at are the problem. It's when they're on the top of doorways,
right,
above light
and conveniently, many of the ethics officers doing those inspections were incredibly tall.
Yes, that's true.
Right?
It's totally true. I'm putting this little Davey guy there. Dr. X, thank you very much for the super chat. She says, "Hi all. How would you guys communicate when you were separated at different locations? You had the phones. But if you didn't, how would you talk to your spouse? Did you have to get permission to call or write? We will fund the winners." Oh, well, that's very nice.
Oh,
you don't have to do that. But yeah, we would. There were times where I might not talk to Claire for like a month or two.
Or longer. Like when I was in Clearwater, and by which time I was in Religious Technology Center, because I was classified as being on mission, which means just I was on a special project versus my normal assigned position.
Yeah.
I would have to have a completed staff work approved by 4 or 5 people to be able to call you.
Yeah, I didn't have to have anything like that because I was in Golden Era Production. So
and because you were a rebel.
Yeah, and
you were supposed to.
Maybe.
You did when you were in Denmark.
I didn't need approval to call anybody. I just would call.
I had to have approval to call you.
Well, yeah, but I was in Denmark. Who's going to tell me what to do in Denmark? I was the boss of my own domain. Anyway, regardless, we didn't talk that much.
We did not. No.
Okay. Let's go back and see if we can do this. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get this. I'm going to flip back over to here. And then we got 43. Okay, we're going to do a drawing. Here we go. Skadoosh. Hopefully I don't win again. I won last week.
I didn't comment this week, so it wouldn't be me.
YouTube user.
Oh, that's really helpful. That's
Holy
so specific.
moly.
Well, YouTube user.
No, we're going to redo it.
Oh, why? Well,
how are they going to verify they're the YouTube user?
They can say, well, because that's their handle. Isn't that their handle?
I don't know. I mean,
okay. So listen,
YouTube user.
We're not interested in any injustices. So YouTube user, if you send me an email, Clara@blownforgood.com.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works.
Go ahead and do one more. We're kind of not sure how this works with a generic handle like that. So, but you did win fair and square.
You're winning you're winning a Davey doll, no matter what happens. You're winning a Davey doll. Here we go. And Catherine Olson. I'm telling you, man,
we're not having the best of luck.
This
Catherine,
StreamYard giveaway tool
your cats will love it, Catherine.
I think she has some.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if she doesn't, then I'll send her one for each.
We got to do it again. Unbelievable.
Never a dull moment over here in Xenu's cave.
There you go.
Chandra.
Okay.
Congratulations.
You just won yourself a Davey doll.
That's the person who's in Colorado too, if I remember correctly.
Well, there you go. We'll save on shipping.
There you go. Boom. Bob's your uncle.
Okay, let's see if we can get, I realized I was thinking we could go back to our normal way, which is, let's see if I do it.
Boom. There we go.
Okay, you want to do some questions?
Yes, let's do this.
Okay, here we go.
All right, Manon, when did you have time to buy essentials? Great question. So sometimes, in the early years when we were living in Hemet at Kirby Gardens, if you got your cleaning done, you could do a brisk walk to, Walmart at that time?
A brisk walk? That's a half-hour walk.
I know.
On a good day.
Yeah, you could bike on your
bike,
bicycle.
normal bike. Walk is 2. That's just.
Oh, I've walked it before.
Well, I know, but then you're burning 45 minutes there, 45 minutes back. There's no half hour. I don't know.
My walk counts as a jog, more like.
I don't know. We should go there and do
a reenactment. Anyway, the point being that sometimes we would be allowed to go into town or to a Vaughn's to get like shampoo and basic supplies. And that would be if you had saved up enough money from your $46 a week to buy hygiene supplies.
Yeah.
However, in 1993, 1994-ish, that was banned. And then they changed it so that the canteen would stock the shampoo and
detergent.
Detergent.
You had to buy your own laundry detergent.
Yep.
You did have to pay for your laundry too. You had to get quarters and do all the normal stuff.
There were laundry machines in the apartment complex, but you had to have quarters.
I think it was 75 cents to wash and 50 cents to dry, or
something
$1 to dry, or something like that.
Yeah, or $1 to wash and 75 cents to dry, or something like that. Either way, that's the answer to that question.
Yeah, which answers this next question. Yeah. Did you have to pay to do your laundry?
Yes, we did. Oh, hi, Glenda. Good to see you here.
Yes, we did. We did that one. Okay, I'm just putting up stuff.
Okay, no worries. Brian, question. Does the average Scientologist know about the brutal work schedule in the Sea Org? What are their perceptions of life in the Sea Org? Another great question.
Yeah.
So I think,
they know.
So there's 2 answers to that. Many Scientologists have had stints in the Sea Org at various times. Yeah. Like, for example, my mother. So yes, they know it's a very hard, grueling schedule. They may not know all the ins and outs, but they see the staff at the organizations. And so it's not like this wouldn't surprise them for sure.
They're not going like, oh, I didn't know you guys work so hard.
Right.
They know.
They know.
They know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What's this one saying?
Okay. Maybe some of the spy files could go up there.
Yeah, I'll see if I can reach out to this person or people or whatever and answer back on their weird email they sent and say, I mean, I'm sure they'll get, I mean, those files they could put those up there. I think they would have to.
We have absolutely been noticing a significant uptick in emails from under the radar people, which this is not from an under the radar person, to be clear. We don't know who it is.
Look at this.
Okay, where does Mark buy his shirts now? At Hot Topic?
No, this is an Untuck It. Okay. I like these shirts. I just got this yesterday. I like it.
Yeah, there you go.
It's nice and thin. It's
colorful.
It's comfy. Okay.
Yep, there you go. Auditing Scientology, KC. When is the last time that the SO got a raise? Yeah, so I think that's a question Catherine would be able to answer better than I can.
But we heard that they did. It went up, like at Florida. It went up. Traditionally, Sea Org members make $50 a week.
Yeah,
that's it, $50, and then they take taxes out of that, so it's actually $46.28 when they're done with that taxes. It used to be.
Yeah,
it could be different now.
It was that for many years.
But then in Florida, we heard a rumor that it went up to 75 or 100 for a little while.
Yep.
And then it went back.
Right.
We were told, no, it went back down. So it went up to 100. There's also been
periods in there where it was like by direct deposit. So it was mandatory.
Yeah.
But then there's been a lot of changes. So yeah, we'd have to ask.
We'll ask some of the people that are leaving these days. We should ask them, hey,
what was their last amount?
Most of the time it's been $50. And funnily enough, they'll say it's going to go up. And then it never goes up in the Sea Org. So that's been a thing for a while too.
Yep.
And then traditionally Scientology staff members would make more, but then we found out that they make very little. Sometimes they might not even make $20 a week.
Yep.
As a Scientology, like a full-time or a part-time Scientology staff member in the middle of Keokuk or something.
Yeah. With that, it's time for me to teleport.
Claire's going to leave. I'm going to close this thing out, and I'll answer a few more questions here. Let me see if I put it. There you go. See, now I got it on me.
Awesome.
Now you can exit clean. Hopefully this sounds good and looks good this week, guys. We had to redo a bunch of stuff in here. I'm going to tell you guys now that Claire's gone, and then we are going to redirect into the foundation feed. So if you just stay watching, you'll end up with Claire and Phil on the foundation feed number 6, I think it is. And they're going to do part 2 with John Christensen, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So that will be exciting. We had a light switch that was up in the ceiling, and it was turning on and off during our streams. And it did turn on. We now have it just hooked up to a light over in the corner. And it did turn on and off right before the stream, but it hasn't done anything since. It is a smart switch that I don't have set up. So maybe somebody hacked into this switch and they're messing with it during. It only does this when we're doing the streams. I have it plugged in and just sitting there, and it's been sitting there doing nothing until right before we went live, and it turned off and on a few times. Spooky, spooky, spooky. Okay. I saw another Dr. X question, said, who would supervise the ethics folks? Security would mainly be the keepers of the people that were in trouble. The security guards, you sort of get assigned to a security guard, and they're kind of like the one who you have to check in with before you go find a place to sleep on the property and that kind of things. If they're looking for you, they need to know where to find you. Okay, guys, I think that's going to do it. As normal, I will put up some comments on the screen as we're doing the end, whatever it's called, the outro. Thank you. Till next time. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to help support the channel, feel free to check out the merch store link in the description. We have Hail Xenu, Xenu is my homeboy, and BFG branded mouse pads, shirts, mugs, all sorts of other stuff in there that helps us to bring you new content on a regular basis. You can also pick up a copy of my book, Blown for Good, Behind the Iron Curtain of Scientology, in hardback, Kindle, and Audible versions as well. There's also a link to our podcast, and you can get that on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to watch another video, you can click on this link right here, or you can click on this one here, or you can click on the subscribe button right here. Thanks a lot. Until next time.